Hagar the albino puncher was my Dungeons and Dragons character. So our DM basically said everybody always puts the same thing in their backstory, that orcs burned down their village. He said if somebody says that orcs burned down their village, I'm automatically docking like whatever points off of your character, and making this hard on you. And I was like, okay, I don't want that. So my village wasn't burnt down by orcs. I was the orcs. The Hagar's mother was in the village that was raided by orcs and burned down, and she was taken by one of the orcs sexually.
Oh.
and had a half-orc baby. That she was like, ew, this is an ugly baby. Of course it's ugly. It's Hagar. It's a Hagar the half-orc. So she put him in a ditch. So up the road there was a blind blacksmith, and the blind blacksmith found this baby, and because he's blind, he doesn't know that it's ugly, so he's like, I'll take it in. Now, that being said, because he's a blind blacksmith, he fucking sucks at being a blacksmith. So he makes really shitty weapons. So what happens is that there is a clan of albino night elves. Let that sink in for a second.
Okay, carry on.
That are in the forest nearby, and they come out and they steal the shitty weapons that this blind blacksmith makes, and they steal it for, you know, the metals and stuff. And so Hagar's like, oh, I have to protect, you know, my family's blacksmithing business from these albino dark elves, but I don't have any weapons because my dad makes shit weapons, so I have to punch them. So that's how he became Hagar the albino puncher. The rest of the story was that eventually his business went under because he made shitty weapons. So he became an abusive alcoholic. So Hagar got pissed off and he burned down his dad's village. So he was Hagar the albino puncher, but as we went through our little quest, everything that he punched, his name got upgraded. So my character sheet had a lot of eraser marks on it. So like he went to like, I think everything's significant. It went up to like Hagar the wolf puncher, and then the bear puncher, and then I had like Goblin Puncher because it sounded cool. Basically, our DM kept trying to create regular characters, but he didn't account for like I had a really high strength, and I kept using Barbarian Rage to like kill everything. So like everything that he had us run into, dragons, bears, this champion of the arena, like I killed them all in one hit. So my intelligence was rolled so low that my DM was like, you can't use that because it's below sentience, you're no smarter than a rock. And I was like, but I like all the other numbers, I don't want to give this up. And he said, okay, I'll be lenient with it, I'll let you have all those numbers. He goes, but since your intelligence is so low, I have to give you some sort of a penalty. He said, so you can't speak common, you can only speak Orcish. And there's only one other guy in the party that speaks Orcish, Corey, who, by the way, was consistently stoned and stupid all through our Dungeons and Dragons sessions. So the only way for me to communicate to the party was by talking through Corey, who's an idiot. I assume that when the blind blacksmith was a drunk, he taught me how to speak, so...
But apparently...
Orcish is drunk, I guess?
Orcish is drunk. I love it. So like, he's blind, but apparently he can't speak to you for some reason. Maybe he's blind and dumb.
Yeah, he was essentially raised by the Helen Keller of blacksmiths. So, that's my Dungeons and Dragons backstory that I wrote, and that's where Hagar the albino puncher comes from.
Did Corey ever piss you off in the campaign?
Yes. We had a drinking contest in the campaign, and I rolled a natural 1. Essentially, he said that I lifted up the mead, I smacked myself in the face with the glass, and passed out into the fire in front of me. And I was like, oh, damn. Corey leans over to me, and he gives me this shit-eating grin, and he goes, don't touch the hot, Mike. And I was like, Eric, I'm going to punch Corey. And he's like, what? And I was like, yep. And like I mentioned before, I punched a lot of things, and
Just one shot them.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna punch him. So he's like, roll, and I rolled like a 19. He's like, roll for damage, and I rolled. He's like, oh, you killed Corey, and we're all like, oh fuck, now we have to fucking spend all this time and money resurrecting Corey.